Dear friends and colleagues, I hope that you are all well and that your family is well in these strange pandemic times. Personally, the worst thing that has happened for me is a desperate need for a haircut. This short message, I wanted to bring to you a couple of thoughts that go beyond the current pandemic state and things that we need to keep an eye on for the future, even though now we're quite busy managing the strange normality that we're working in terms of online meetings and lectures. As deputy head of the school and responsible for faculty development, you know that I am quite engaged in our recruitment and promotion procedures. But perhaps most importantly, the conditions for faculty while we are here at KTH is at the top of my agenda. So I wanted to talk to you about a couple of such things that I think are really important for us to keep developing, even in this online working from home state. First of all, recruitment. I'm really happy to say that recruitment goes according to plan, despite these awkward circumstances. We've had online recruitment meetings with candidates from all over the globe. And that has led to successful recruitments as well, which is something that I'm really grateful for. Good support from HR and also all the teachers that are putting an effort in to assess and interview the candidates. What is not working so well with our recruitment is that we're actually shrinking. Compared to when the school was formed, we've lost a number of faculty. This is, of course, natural because people move out. I think that the bottleneck here has been our recruiting process in the terms of identifying new positions. We do know that across our school, there is some places and environments where there is a dire need for teachers. I think that the reorganization and the many meetings that have been spent on internal processes and so on has perhaps taken its toll on the ability of our faculty to propose new positions. And I'm glad to see that some of the departments are now speeding up proposing new positions. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I really look forward to welcoming many new faculty members later in the year. Second, the thing I wanted to talk perhaps most about is the conditions for you and me as a faculty member here at KTH while we're here. There is a number of perspectives on that issue I wanted to bring up too that are sort of within the school's control. There are many other matters which we could discuss in terms of resource allocation and quality assurance mechanisms that we are forced to follow. But for now, I want to focus on two things, and those are diversity and gender equality and also career support. So first, as you know, the school has a working group for gender equality and equal opportunity and diversity. Specifically this year, we have set up a task force which is led by Wouter van der Wingart. It was introduced at the all-hands meeting last week. Wouter is setting up a group that is tasked to come up with some really proactive initiatives, so how we can improve the conditions specifically with regards to gender balance across our school. In the school management, we're really excited to see what good ideas they can come up with. And I think the very important step is that it will not remain just as good ideas, but we're actually going to be working them into the business plan or verksamhetsplan for 2020, allocating resources and goals for these new initiatives. I've already had a meeting with Wouter, and I think that there's some really good ideas coming out of that group. Again, this is an initiative, and I hope it will improve our overall processes in general. In addition to the task force led by Wouter and the good things we can put into our plan for next year, we've also started an initiative which is focused more on the day-to-day career coaching that needs to happen for all of us. As peers and managers, we need to help each other to develop. So what we've done during the last couple of months is to develop some hints and checklists and tips for good things to do to develop your career. This might seem strange. As a researcher and a teacher, you do know what you need to do in order to improve your research excellence and your teaching excellence. But as we all know, that there's this vague expectation that KTH wants you to do things which go beyond things that are related to your internal scientific work in teaching and research. So for this matter, we've developed some good hints and tips which division heads and group managers can use in individual development discussions or talks with younger faculty, but also senior people that need to find a good way how to get engaged with KTH overall. Related to this initiative, we've also launched a program of language teaching. We've seen that language skills, Swedish then, being more and more a scarce resource across. And this is not just for the teaching. Teaching, of course, at the bachelor level happens in Swedish, and we do need faculty that can teach in Swedish. But it's also, as we know, KTH is a Swedish authority, and much of the official decision-making takes place in Swedish. And we do not want to create a system where we have a bunch of Swedish-speaking people at the top that go to all the management meetings, and we have the brilliant young scientists not being really aware of what goes on in all the beslut that is being sent around via email. So to develop people's language skills in Swedish is also an initiative which I see strictly coupled to the development of faculty in general. Third thing I wanted to say, which also I hope can help us lift the eyes beyond the current pandemic, is that I really look forward to a training program that we're launching this fall, where we'll be having department heads, division heads, and so on, working on matters such as coaching, as I mentioned, but also diversity and gender balance, so that we can foster a culture of inclusion. I'm not saying that we don't have an inclusive culture, but I think that we all need to be reminded there are other important matters beyond our teaching and research. And this program is so much better if we can meet in real life and discuss these important matters. So with that, I really hope that you will be lifting your eye beyond the current strange state and seeing that we together are the ones that develop KTH through recruiting and coaching each other to develop and build a better future. But for now, I guess we'll have to stay online and keep on Zooming. Bye-bye.